Anger and calls for justice from the Chinese American community and its supporters after officers shot and killed 47-year-old Yan Li. They're calling for an independent investigation and better de-escalation tactics involving mental health issues.
Back in March, after officers forced their way into her home while serving an eviction notice, Li stabbed one of them. She was shot and killed. The officer did recover. CBS 8's Abby Alford reports on what activists want to see happen here and where the investigation stands tonight.
The Alliance of Chinese Americans San Diego is protesting the officer-involved shooting death of Dr. Yang Li. They say although she had shown a weapon, her death could have been prevented.
I got stabbed!
Watching a San Diego police canine officer getting stabbed and a 47-year-old woman shot and killed by law enforcement from the view of a deputy-worn body camera may be difficult to watch. It happened on March 3rd inside an apartment complex in Little Italy when deputies were serving an eviction notice to Yan Li.
Hey, here's a notice to evict. Okay?
What?
It's your notice for... Put the knife down right now or I'm going to
This kind of language necessary, those kind of that word definitely escalate the situation.
Sunny Rickard represents the Alliance of Chinese Americans San Diego. She says officers had been called to Li's home in the past for mental health issues.
Did Dr. Li have to die?
The body camera video shows Li holding a knife, accusing Deputy Jason Bunch of being a fake police officer, refusing his commands and then throwing the eviction notice at him.
I am not a fake police officer. Drop the knife.
Then she retreated back to her home and she locked her door. She doesn't at least appear, did not pose any imminent public threat anymore.
San Diego police were called for backup. That night, Lieutenant Matt Dobbs says that there was a prior incident with Li the day before the shooting.
One of the employees of the complex, that same female had threatened a male maintenance worker with a knife the previous day.
Police still needed to serve the eviction notice. They went back up to Li's apartment and made entry with a manager's key. Video shows Li is still holding the knife and an officer and deputy fired beanbags at her. That's when Li charges forward with the knife and stabs the canine handler, prompting 3 deputies and a canine officer to open fire. Retired SDPD SWAT Commander Ray Shea says shooting someone is the last resort.
Unfortunately, the deputies at that point run out of options.
But Li's supporters say that law enforcement acted too quickly. The psychological emergency response team known as PERT was called, but officers went into the apartment before they arrived. Now the Alliance is calling for an independent investigation.
Mental illness is not a crime.
Once the San Diego Police Department Homicide Unit finishes its investigation, it'll then be handed over to the DA's office, who will determine whether or not this is a justified shooting.
Thank you, Abby. The San Diego Police Department issued a statement. In summary, it says it understands the community's concerns and questions, but cannot comment because it points out it is still an active investigation.